with fantasy football season approaching in the next few weeks in fantasy drafts. Here's a few running backs I believe could break out this season. The first running back is Zamir White of the Las Vegas Raiders. Zamir White last season, he got some run towards the end of the year when Josh Jacobs was banged up. And he looked good in some ball games. He's not going to catch the football a lot out of the backfield as Zamir White. But right now, going into the year, I don't believe there's much competition with Alexander Madison and Amir Abdul with the backup running backs over there for the Las Vegas Raiders. And last season, 104 carries, 451 rush yards, a touchdown, 15 catches, 98 yards, and a fumble loss. So last season, yards per carry, not bad, 4.4 yards per carry for Zamir White. He was a big prospect coming out of college. He's a big running back as well, physical in between the tackles, and I think he could have a surprising season here, Zamir White, and his ADP is really solid. Like, if I went into the season with Zamir White as my number 2 running back, I don't think it'd be that horrible. If you get a headlining top back first round or two, and then you wait out to that late 5th, 6th round range and get Zamir White, I think he could pay dividends for fantasy owners. Like I said, Alexander Madison got an opportunity last season with the Vikings. He couldn't do anything with it, and Zamir White showed some flashes and a physical runner, and that's the type of football this Raider team wants to play, especially with either Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew at quarterback. They're not going to want to throw the football 30 or 35 times a game. So right now with Zamir White going in that 6th round range about, and I think I would be comfortable with him as my number 2 running back going into a season. He's definitely a running back with breakout potential. We saw at the end of last season, and just the way I think this Raider team is going to play. The next running back, Tajay Spears of the Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry leaving Tennessee in the offseason, where they did a farewell the last couple games to him last year. And Tajay Spears, he ate into Henry's workload a decent amount last year, playing about 35-40% of the snaps at times. So last season, 100 carries, 453 rush yards, 4.5 yards per carry, great number, 2 rushing touchdowns. But where he really kicks in is catching the football, 52 catches, 385 receiving yards. So this offseason, we know Tony Pollard signed with this Tennessee Titan team, but it wouldn't be surprising to me if it's a 50-50 split in the beginning of the season and then Spears overtakes Tony Pollard. Because in between the tackles, I know Spears isn't the greatest of runners, but he's got more burst than Tony Pollard. Catching the football out of the backfield, I think Spears is a little bit better as well. And Pollard, remember, he had a pretty bad ankle injury a couple seasons ago, where last year he still had 1,000 yards, but the numbers weren't all that great. And Pollard's going about that late 6th, 7th round range, where Spears, he's been falling in some mocks I've been doing in that late 7th, even 9th round range. So Tajay Spears has good upside. The coaching staff likes him, obviously, over there. That last year, he worked a lot in with Derrick Henry in 52 catches, which is a great number. And this season, Tajay Spears, if you could get him in the 7th, 8th round range, and he has potential to break out, which I think he does, especially receiving the football and getting about 175, 200 carries this season. Spears is definitely a breakout running back with good upside, and a guy who fits this Tennessee system with a young quarterback as well. I believe the next running back, Devon Achane of the Miami Dolphins. So Achane, I'm big on him this season, no doubt about it, coming into the year. We saw the home run hitting ability last season as Achane. 8 yards per carry he averaged for this Miami Dolphin team. And remember as well, he missed 3-4 weeks of the season. 103 rush attempts, 800 rush yards, 8 touchdowns, 27 catches, 197 receiving yards. So one of the more explosive offenses you'll see in the NFL with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane, and Tua with that quick release on slants and cuts. But Achane this season, I expect him to catch the football a little bit more. Last year, he got about 40% of the touches. Raheem Mostert, no doubt, last year, monster season, 18 rushing touchdowns. He'll still get that short yardage work, is Raheem Mostert, and he'll be first and second down most times. But we know Mostert throughout his career has had a lot of injuries, and if he goes down, Devon Achane really skyrockets up the rankings and his breakout potential. So last season, I believe in his rookie year, it was an appetizer to see what could come for Devon Achane if he gets a little more work. If he gets in that 50-50 split, like I said, with Raheem Mostert, it sky's the limit, because I don't think he needs a lot of touches, Achane. If he could get 15, 18 touches per game, I think he could average about 18, 20 fantasy points per game with his breakout ability. And once he's in the open field, he's gone. So right now, Devon Achane, he's going about late 2nd, early 3rd round, which I think is a great value, because I arguably could say Achane, I would take him in the early 2nd round, just his potential and upside. And if he was couple more pounds heavier as well, he would be one of the best, if not the best running back in all pro football, I believe, is A-Chance. He's definitely a breakout candidate this season. Next running back, Rico Dowdle of the Dallas Cowboys. Rico Dowdle, he's going in the last rounds of fantasy drafts. I know Ezekiel Elliott brought back in after one season with the Patriots last year. Cowboys signed them back, and also they brought in Royce Freeman. But Rico Dowdle last year, he showed power. He showed some burst where he was playing a little bit behind Tony Pollard, giving him some rest at times. 89 carries, 361 rush yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 17 catches, 144 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. So Rico Dowdle right now, he's going that 12th, 13th round range, or even towards the back end of the draft, so undrafted in shallow league. So Rico Dowdle, he's been in this Cowboy system a few years. He doesn't have a lot of wear and tear on his body, where he really hasn't had workloads throughout his career. Where last season, obviously the 89 carries was the biggest of his NFL career. So Dallas likes him over there. Ezekiel Elliott, I believe, is on his last legs, even though he showed some flashes towards the end of the season with the New England Patriots. But I believe Rico Dowdle could easily win this backfield job for the Dallas Cowboys, where Elliott will come in for a few drives and get it. But Dowdle, if he could get those 15, 18 touches per game in an offense with CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson, who had great seasons last year, where the Cowboys could have open boxes a little bit, and Dowdle has more burst than as Elliott or Freeman at this point in their careers. I think Dowdle, where his ADP is, and with the potential in that backfield, he's a breakout candidate this season. And the fifth and final running back I have as a breakout, Zach Charbonnet of the Seattle Seahawks. So last season, I thought Charbonnet and Walker was going to be a 50-50 split for the majority of the season, but obviously that didn't happen. And Charbonnet, he was a second-round pick in the NFL draft last season, so the work he did get, still 108 carries, 462 rush yards, a rushing touchdown. He showed good receiving out of the backfield, 33 catches, 209 receiving yards on 40 targets. So Charbonnet, if he could get a little bit more work, like I mentioned, and to get a running back in that late 11th, 13th round range, I've been seeing Zach Charbonnet go, and a potential lottery ticket. And if Walker goes down, or if Zach Charbonnet just takes over the job in the first few weeks of the season, he has potential to be a top 15, top 18 running back every week for fantasy owners, and a perfect number 2 and flex option. So right now, like I said, Zach Charbonnet going in the back end of the drafts. Last season, he looked good in the touches he got and catching the football, and a physical runner. And also as well, Pete Carroll, not the head coach anymore. Whole new coaching staff, whole new offensive coordinator. And Charbonnet, I believe if he gets more opportunities, could be a breakout running back. So someone who's going in the back end of fantasy drafts, I think it's a home run type of pick, and he could be a potential breakout candidate, because this is what you want to see, young running backs and guys getting opportunities for the first time. And if you could get them in those later rounds, and they could have second, third round value with the points per game they're putting up, that's big for fantasy owners. So that's a few running backs I have as breakouts entering fantasy football drafts in the season within the next few weeks.